Okay, Drew, tell us a joke.
Why did the rubber chicken cross the road?
Why?
To get to the other slide ride. Waka waka.
That is awesome.
Silly.
Sometimes I crack myself up.
That you what?
Sometimes I crack myself up.
You crack me up every day. Dax, would you be kind enough to pull the door shut? Well, Mrs. Trainer's class, welcome. I'd like to introduce to you a very famous author and illustrator. Now, if she's an author, what does that mean that she did? What did she do, Grayson? Oh, Grant, I'm sorry.
She writes books.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
that's exactly right.
so what part of the book, if you're an author, do you do?
She colors the pictures.
That's the illustrator. If you're the author, what do you do? Blake,
Write the words.
you write the words. And then if you're an illustrator, you draw the pictures. It's not very often that an author and the illustrator are the same person. But in her book, she did both. Who was the other author we had earlier this year? Anybody remember his name, Aubrey? Damien? Mr. Wagner. Was he the author or the illustrator or both? Do you remember, Eiley?
The illustrator.
Nope. Do you remember, Lexi?
The book.
Nope. He was just the author. Lindsay, Miss Chapman, is both. Okay? Miss Chapman, these are our people.
Hi, everybody. It's so nice to meet you guys. Thank you for my nice introduction. Am I okay to go ahead?
Absolutely,
Okay,
they're all
cool.
yours.
Cool. So yeah, you can see this is the cover of my book that I wrote and illustrated. So it says right down here, Lindsay Chapman, written and illustrated by Lindsay Chapman. That's me. So I want to tell you guys why I wrote this book. So it started with the fact that I love to draw. Does anyone else love to draw or color or use markers or get creative and make stuff? That's awesome. Maybe someday you guys could do this too. So I always loved to draw, even when I was your age. When I was your age, do you guys know how old I am now? 50? A little younger than 50. What do you think? 30? A little younger? How about you?
20.
I'm 23. Super close. 23. So I'm a little bit older than you guys. But my passion for doing stuff like this started at your age. So this is something that you guys could do too. You could do it now. You could do it when you get a little bit older. Just so you know, it's kind of exciting to think about. So I went to college and I was studying graphic design. Do you guys know what graphic design is?
No.
What do you think?
It's like when you write books and stuff.
Okay, kind of. I use my graphic design to write my book. What about you?
To
Eileen.
make signs.
Make signs, yeah, that's close. I can make signs with graphic design. As a graphic designer, I basically make things on a computer, like signs or my book or things like this, websites, anything like that. That's what a graphic designer does. And I really liked being a graphic designer because I like being creative and I like taking things that inspire me and putting them together and then making another thing that might inspire someone else. And so I wanted to use all those skills to illustrate a children's book because I also really like kids. I really like you guys. I think you're cool and creative and curious. That's the best part about being a kid is you have all these questions and you ask them and you find out the answers, right? That's what's so fun about school and talking to your teachers and talking to your friends. And so I ended up coming up with this book called Clark and Clover. Now, do you guys know what the book is about? Did you learn at all about what the book is about? Eiley?
It's about a type of a bug.
It's a chameleon, right? Harper?
He changes the feelings in the book. He changes his feelings and they show what feelings he has. He has green, yellow, blue, and red.
Yes, so it's a chameleon, which is this little animal up here. And he changes colors based on the way he feels. So just like us, how some days we feel really happy and some days we feel really sad, so does this chameleon. The chameleon's name is Clover. And so I wanted to teach kids about how your emotions can change and how you can manage them in a really positive way. So one of the emotions that I talk about in this book is anxiety. Do you guys know what anxiety is? No, I didn't think so.
We talked about it, but that's a hard word.
It's a hard word. It's a hard word. And so what we need to think about when we talk about anxiety is our mental health. Have you guys ever heard that? Mental health? Yeah, some of you have. Some of you have.
We've used that word.
Yeah? Ryan, do you want to talk about mental health at all? No? No? Anybody? I can explain it. So, when I think about mental health, it's like everybody has a brain, right? And our brain's in our head. Yes? And our brain is what makes us feel the way we feel. And sometimes our brain helps us feel really happy and excited and giggly. And sometimes it makes us feel sad and kind of crummy. You know, sometimes we have good days and some days we have bad days. And understanding mental health is just like understanding the health in our bodies. In order to be healthy in our body, we have to exercise and eat healthy food and all kinds of things like that. And in order to have a healthy brain, we need to understand what things make us feel good and what things make us feel bad. You know? And feeling bad is okay, but it's good to understand why. And it's good to talk about our feelings, isn't it? Because sometimes that makes us feel better, doesn't it? Yeah? Okay, so that's what the book is all about. Are you guys ready for me to read it?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, here we go. Clark and Clover, written and illustrated by myself, Lindsay Chapman. Okay. My name is Clark, and this is Clover, and we have a story we want to go over. I am a mentor, a pal, and a friend when Clover has feelings that she needs to mend.
My ears are tingling. Do you hear anything about these words? Listen to the next page and see if you can figure it out.
When Clover turns blue, yellow, and green, and I'm here to tell you what these colors mean. You see, Clover is silly, happy, and sad, all kinds of emotions that have to be had.
Anybody's ears tingling? What do you hear?
Rhyming.
Oh, raise your hand if you hear rhyming words. Yes. I do too.
Rhymes are fun, aren't they? It's fun to read a story that rhymes. When Clover turns blue, her scales are blue too. Blue means she's sad, like gum on your shoe. Clover's blue scales are beautiful though, because they look like the sea or new fallen snow. We know a lot about snow these days, don't we, guys?
Yeah.
Lots of snow. And when Clover is blue, she can turn shades of yellows when she plays outside or eats lots of marshmallows. Yellow is fun and makes Clover feel fine. I'm happy, Clark, and this feeling is mine. When Clover's scales from yellow turn green, let me please tell you what sights can be seen. Clover yells, "Hey, Clark, look here at me. I'm upside down. I'm silly and free." Recently, though, Clover turned red, and when she did, she felt odd in the head, as red was a feeling that felt rather strange. Into this color I don't want to change. My tummy is tingly, my heart has weird thumps, and somehow I'm feeling down in the dumps. My knees feel all shaky, my heart beats so fast. I hope that this nervousness just will not last. If you recall from before, my name is Clark, and I'm helping Clover come out of the dark. This is anxiety. Stand up and say, red is anxiety. It has a name. This new feeling for Clover was odd. She didn't feel happy. Instead, she felt flawed. But she was determined. She knew what to do to wash out the anxiety, like using shampoo. Do you think a chameleon uses shampoo?
Yeah.
maybe not. It's okay, it's just for fun. Anxiety is Clover's least favorite shade when her reddest red color just will not fade. But I am Clark, here to comfort and mend and tell her anxiety can come to an end. The best part of Clover is how things turn round when she's feeling sad, anxious, or down. Clover knows that all feelings will switch, like solving a problem or scratching an itch. By asking for help and taking the time, Clover has learned, like you've learned from this rhyme. All in all, what's important to note is anxiety can make you need help from a goat. If you don't have a goat, a friend will do. Anxiety is tough, but not tougher than you. Yay!
That is awesome.
What do you guys think? Did you like it? What did you learn?
Ooh.
Yes,
The
Lena.
chameleons change colors.
Yes, yes. Just like you guys did the other day, right? We learned that a chameleon has different colors, right? And in the book, what does that mean when Clover turns different colors? What does it mean? Josiah?
It means like chameleons have feelings just like us.
Yes, exactly. They do. They do.
They
What do you have more to say?
like when they're blue, they're sad. When they're green, they're silly. When they're yellow, they're happy. That's all the same thing, sort of, with humans.
Yes, except we don't change color, do we?
Yeah.
It would be funny if we did, right? We'd all walk around, we'd look like a rainbow.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you say?
That you could be nice and caring.
You can be nice and caring for your friends. If your friend is sad, you can be a support to them, can't you? Just like Clark is for Clover. Yes.
That not all chameleons have feelings just like Clover.
Yes. Okay. So, what can we learn from Clover? What do you think? Is Clover like us? Harper?
Yes.
Yes. Why?
We have feelings too.
We have feelings too.
Every animal has feelings.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
Bless you.
Uh-huh. So what about the word anxiety? Did we kind of learn what anxiety is when we're feeling nervous? Have you guys ever felt nervous? Yeah? So have I. And when I was little, I felt nervous all the time. And sometimes I still do feel nervous, kind of a lot. And a lot of people do. A lot of people feel nervous. And what we can learn from Clark is that when you're feeling anxious or nervous and you're not really sure why, you can talk to someone. You can talk to your friends. You can talk to your teachers. You can talk to your parents. And they're able to help you and make you feel better and make you feel happy and make you feel silly and fun again, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, Miss Chapman, we've been talking a lot in first grade about the author's purpose of writing a story. In everything that you've heard her talk about today, and she actually told you exactly why she wrote the story. But Grant, why did she write this story? What was her purpose? Let's see if we figured it out. She's here to tell us, because sometimes we have to guess what the author's purpose is. Who knows her purpose for writing that story? Why did she do that? I need a few more hands. Why did she write that story? What's her purpose? Lexi, why do you think?
To have fun.
Did you write it to have fun?
Oh my gosh. Well, I did have fun writing it, but was that the main reason? There are
Good
multiple
thinking.
reasons.
You bet
We
you.
can say that that's one of them.
You're on the right track. Another reason.
It's about feelings.
So she wanted to teach us about feelings. Did you write it for that reason?
Partially.
Oh,
Yeah.
we've got two good reasons, but there was still a better reason. You two are right. We're still looking for more.
Kind.
Pardon me?
To be kind.
She wanted to teach us about being kind and being a good friend. Another great reason. There's another one.
To stay healthy.
To stay healthy? Nice thinking. One more. I'm coming back to Blake. Blake, real loud. Why do you think? What's her purpose?
To say everybody has feelings.
You're awesome. How are we doing?
Pretty good.
Pretty good?
Yeah,
Tell
these
us
are
the
all-
ones we missed.
Yeah, so I really like that we were talking about being healthy and feelings and to have fun. Of course I wrote it to have fun. If I didn't have fun, I probably wouldn't have written it, right? But the main reason is because I wanted to teach you guys that you can talk about how you feel. And you can share your feelings. And you can ask for help if you're feeling crummy, if you're feeling down, if you're feeling anxious. I wanted to tell you guys that. That's
awesome.
what's most important. That it's
Very
really
cool.
good to talk about how you feel.
Well, she has a little activity for you guys that has to do with drawing. And I want to show you, I took a picture of it. I'm going to put it up on the screen here if you give me a second. You're going to get that. But it's not done, is it?
So, one thing that I want you guys to do with this drawing is use your imagination. Be really creative and think about what you think a chameleon should look like. Does the chameleon have wings?
No.
Does she have scales? Well, she could if you wanted her to. It's up to you. Do you want her to have wings? Do you want her to have fur? Do you want her to have scales? Do you want her to have spikes? Do you want her to have a unicorn horn? It's up to you. You can do whatever you want. I want you guys to be silly and fun and creative, okay? That's, using your emotions too, isn't it? So this is what I did, if you guys want to see for some ideas. I gave her wings, and I gave her little spikies and little polka dots. I colored her belly pink, and I gave her a funny long tongue.
That's what chameleons have.
Chameleons do have long tongues because they catch bugs with it, don't they? Yeah,
You
just
know
like
what?
that.
Just like a frog.
Yeah, just like a frog. Frogs
Why
are
did
cute.
she draw?
Can we
I like that.
can we have a little bit of fun and a little bit of fun for you?
Yeah.
So these are your choices of colors. Come on. Come on. You're supposed to be able to draw. It's not working today.
It's like
Would the
Maybe-
other tool work?
Maybe I'll try to figure it out while she gets you guys started. Now, how many of you ordered a book? Okay, I got good news and bad news. The good news is she brought books, and a lot of you are going to get your books today. The bad news, so many of you ordered books, she ran out. But don't worry, she's getting more. So I know, Dylan, isn't that cool?
This is cool.
Are you counting?
So if you don't get your book today, are you going to whine and cry?
No.
You know it's coming. Okay, you know it's coming, but how cool for her that we ran out of books. So many of you want her
Thank
books.
you so much, you guys. I'm
That
so
is cool.
excited.
That's just a hissy fit.
No, we're not going to have a hissy fit. That is true. Okay, so let's do this. How about I have a stack for Mrs. Trainer, and I have a stack for us. Hi, Mrs. Schmidt.
Hi! You guys, I know her. I know her.
Is she your friend?
She is my friend.
I read her mind.
Take some pictures of my friend.
I'm 19, 19,
So how